So the three of you are in the Trollbark Forest. You've been here for several weeks. Your purpose is to hunt trolls. Your reasons why are your own, but the main motivator, it would seem, would be the bounty that has been offered. If you could prove that you've killed one of these creatures, the local lord will pay you a bounty of 50 silver. So you're camped. It's the middle of summer. The air is just hot and heavy with humidity. You're tired. It's been a long day. It's been unsuccessful. You've not found a troll in several days. You've eaten a quick meal, maybe exchange a tale or two as you sit around the campfire and you prepare to set your watch for the evening. The forest itself has a thick canopy. You hear the rustle of leaves as a slight breeze blows through, the sound of many forest creatures as they scurry through the underbrush, and crickets. What would your watch be for the evening?
Nisa would probably take first watch.
Turak would not mind going second.
I'll take third.
Perfect. So you set your watch, and so Nisa, you remain up as the others go off to their bedrolls. What sort of sleeping arrangements do you guys have as you're in this forest? Or what? Just kind of bring everybody up to speed, like from your character's point of view, what these last few weeks have been like. And why don't we start with you, Brendan?
Well, I really need, as far as sleeping arrangements go, I really need to know people better before I'm going to share anything. So I'm going to sleep in my own little bedroll.
Right. So, so because this is a one shot, we're assuming that you guys have known each other in some fashion. If you guys wanted just to quickly, and this is an opportunity, I guess what I'm really hoping is give you guys an opportunity to kind of narrate how you guys might know each other and how you guys have been working together over these last couple of weeks. So definitely, Brendan, if you could just give us,
okay.
And what I guess I'm hoping is like folks will kind of build upon one another.
Right. Well, my background is criminal. I'm the assassin archetype, so I'm really good at that. And one of the things about my character is that I lost some people that were important to me. So I'm always like, I will go above and beyond for people that I consider my friends, which these guys I do. And I'm always kind of eager to, I'm at the same time drawing closer, but kind of at a distance, if that makes sense.
Sorry, I said yes, but I was muted. So how do you know this half elf and this lizard man?
I assume, it started off innocuously. Maybe we found each other, answering some sort of ad, and we've been on several adventures together. So that's how I know them. I just got to know them through that.
Perfect. And you, Turak?
Turak, after getting to know him, from what little you can pry from his backstory, you know that his swamp where he came from was actually raided, and he moved out and became a mercenary. And that's why he's hunting this bounty, and why he joined up with you guys, because he's trying to make money. So as you get to know him, you realize he's very, very, he doesn't get sarcasm, he doesn't get anything but facts. So whenever you try to say something that's kind of like not factual, it doesn't kind of click with him. He's trying to understand your humor, and every once in a while he'll attempt to make a joke, but it never really makes any sense. And his role is he's very upfront kind of fighter. He's very good at tracking and hunting, kind of just from his background. And his sleeping arrangement, he would probably have like a hammock that he made out of like leaves and twine, and he hooks it between two trees, and he just kind of sleeps on that with his sword. And again, he's very analytical, very factual. He's trying to get more personable, but it's not the greatest.
Great. And Nissa.
Nissa has no love for lizard people and takes full advantage of the fact that he does not understand sarcasm and is constantly making jabs that she can practically hear whizzing over his head. She has no great love of trolls either, and so kind of fell into troll hunting accidentally.
Perfect. So yeah, it's been sort of a unique arrangement that the three of you have had as you've been hunting these trolls. How successful have you guys been? It's been just over 2 weeks that you guys have been tracking through the wood. I mean, the last few days, not accounting for the last few days. How have you been overall in tracking and killing these trolls?
I feel like Truac they'd probably be pretty successful given Truac's hunting background for the first few days at least, and then maybe we got a little bit lost. That's kind of where we are right now, I guess.
All right, so you quickly you're tired, Brendam and Truac, and it's not long, Nissa, before you hear the maybe annoying snores of Truac as he falls to slumber in his hammock, swinging ever slightly. Brendam just disappears from your view, as he's done every night since you guys have gotten into the Trollbark. But he's always there when you need him. It's maybe halfway through your watch when all of a sudden you hear the rustling of leaves, and you feel the first errant drops of rain that is trickling down through the canopy. It does a lot to cool the air. It's probably refreshing because of how oppressive the humidity had been for the last week. And you just hear it, and the forest gets much quieter. What is Nissa doing when the rain starts?
Nissa kind of blows a little bit of damp hair out of her eyes, sighs deeply. Well, could be worse. At least we're finally getting a break, but she just looks around and is curious to see if Bertrand is going to come back, because she doesn't know if he's sleeping in the rain or if he's going to show back up now that it might wake him up, and she's keeping an eye to see if her lizard friend will be awoken by the raindrops.
Yeah, you get a sense that Thurak is not going to wake up. Maybe he well, I'll let you describe. What does Thurak doesn't wake up, but how does he react as he starts feeling those first few drops of moisture hitting his scaled hide?
Yeah, Turek, you see him, he's just sleeping very, very still, kind of oddly still. And then as soon as the rain starts hitting his face, you just see his mouth very quickly open. and he lets the rain just fall into his mouth.
Yeah.
Like instinctually. He doesn't wake up, doesn't move, just whop.
Okay. And Bendham, where are you? Where are you sleeping? And what's your reaction when the rain starts to come down? And are you undercover, or are you open to the forest canopy above?
I'm not undercover. I'm not bothered particularly by the rain. I'm up in a tree nearby, and I've kind of made a habit of sleeping. You know, I developed it when I was traveling by myself, but when I'm in the forest, I have a habit of making a bed sort of up in the tree a little bit. So I probably do wake up, but I don't. I'm just kind of observing to see if anything is approaching because the conditions are changing.
Yeah. So you look down below from your perch, and you can see Truax sleeping away. He rustles a little bit in his hammock, but otherwise doesn't awake. You see Nissa in her spot, diligently looking for any sort of harm that might be looking to sneak up on your party, and she all appears well.
Okay. I'm going to go back to sleep. I'll observe for a little bit, but if I don't see anything, I'm going to go back to sleep.
Yeah. So maybe you pull your cloak up in around you to help shield you from the rain that is making it down to you from the canopy above, and you go back to sleep. After several more minutes, the rain starts to pick up, Nissa. It hits the canopy above, making that more kind of almost that white noise kind of sound of raindrops hitting leaves and trickling down. And more rain is making it through the canopy to you and to your companions. Why don't you give me a perception roll?
That's no, 6.
Yeah, so it is. It's almost. I wouldn't say deafening, but it is definitely it's loud and it's droning. If there are any other noises within the forest, you don't hear. You can't even hear Truax snoring anymore. As this rain is just kind of creating its own sound, and it's at that point that a large shadow drops down almost in front of you. And, there's a kicking up of wet leaves and small branches. And this thing lashes out at you.
Oh, super.
And you manage to duck as this large, hairy arm just misses grasping at your shoulder. And will a 14 hit you?
Yes.
All right. So you duck. You're missed by the first one, but as you do, its foot comes up and grabs you, much like someone's hand would, and it just holds you fast. And as you try to push, it kind of slams you down to the earth. And you take 3 bludgeoning damage, and it knocks the wind out of you. And you realize that this thing is larger than you, and you don't get a sense that it was trying to kill you as it slammed you down, because you think that it could have caused you more harm. But I do need you to make a opposed grapple roll as it wraps its feet around you tightly.
Athletics or acrobatics?
It's opposed, so Nissa, you can use whichever you would like, but it's going to be using its athletics.
That's only going to be a 9 for me.
Yes. So you seem to be wet enough, and as this thing tries to bring its other foot, which is almost hand-like, to grab you at your shoulders, pinning your arms to the side. You're able to slip free of it. Describe for us what Nissa's reaction is as she's assailed by this large, hairy beast that you're still not quite able to make out yet. It's still kind of shadowed to you.
Nissa mutters a couple words, and you see a kind of purple sheen go over her, and she immediately casts mage armor as protection. And then she's gonna yell out, "Wake up, boys, we have company."
Yeah, you yell. Just as you yell, out of the corner of your eye, Nissa, you see another of these things swinging down at you. And you see it soon enough, and it swings wide, and then it disappears back up into the trees. You just hear rain falling from the leaves and the cracking and snapping of some of the smaller branches. And you yell, "Let's roll initiative." Nice. Can anyone beat a 21?
Hold up
20.
a second. I'll see.
You got a 20, Truett?
20.
Okay.
20,
Perfect.
yeah.
Excellent.
I got a 15.
15. All right. Perfect. Excuse me. So, Nissa, you're first to act. You see this one hairy. It looks almost bipedal, except for the fact that you definitely know that its bottom feet are almost hand-like, because they tried to grab you. And it's large and it's muscled and it's just kind of lumbering towards you, but more kind of like with its like its hands down it, knuckled, and almost coming at you sideways. And goes, what do you do?
Nissa immediately shoots out an Eldritch Blast and starts backing away.
Perfect. Yeah.
18 to hit.
Yeah, you definitely hit it. It's big. It doesn't seem to be trying to move out of the way. It seems to just wanting to get to you.
And so that's going to be, hang on just a second. 6 force damage.
I hate it when I do that. So what does it look like as you cast this Eldritch Blast in it, and you hear the sizzle of flesh?
Yeah, it's she kind of puts one hand out and this purple bolt just shoots at it, and she's scrambling backwards and kind of trying not to lose her footing among the wet leaves.
Yeah. So you do slip, but you've been in the forest for a few weeks, so you're used to. It's rained a couple of times before, so you're able to catch your footing, but you do kind of slide back, kind of stagger back, trying to keep some distance. How far away from this creature do you want to move?
I will take my full movement towards the direction that I saw my companion disappear into the woods.
Oh, okay. So Brendum. Is that where? That way?
Yes.
Yeah. So you head towards the trees where Brendum. Your name is killing me, Bill.
Sorry, Brendum.
Brendum. I know it's not hard. I just can't seem to get it. Brendum. So yeah, you start heading that way, and this thing is still kind of like coming at you, and it's like, and you see it reach down and grab a big clump of earth and rock in its hand, and you see it getting ready to throw it at you. As we go to Turak, you're roused out of your sleep, and your scales properly moisturized by the falling rain, and you immediately see that bright glow of Nissa's Eldritch Blast, and you see it strike into the chest of this large bipedal creature. What do you do?
So Trurak immediately wakes up and goes, Truak hears noise. Truak react. And he kind of rolls out of his hammock and just kind of stands up. And he sees them. He's like, beast. And as quickly as he can, just kind of runs at it and hits at it, and gonna try and hit it with a sword.
Yeah. Yeah, you could definitely get to it and hit it.
Okay, well, we'll see what he does. 14 to hit.
14. Yeah, 14 will hit it.
All right, I'm going to use a Battle Master die to try and frighten it. So it needs to make a Wisdom saving throw. Okay.
11.
Okay, that's, let me see. What is it? What's my DC? Can't even remember. It's 2, 10, 12. No, okay, no, it doesn't make it.
All right, so it fails.
Okay, so Truak comes up and he's going to take 10. He's going to take 12 slashing damage from the sword.
Yes, you cut very deeply into this thing. You see it. It was getting ready to huck this handful of earth and stone at Nissa, and you almost take the arm off of it as you bring your large sword down on it. That it drops what it's holding, and it just grunts in pain, and it starts backing away from you. And it's like with its other hand, it's like flicking grass and leaves up at you, but it's not really causing anything. But it seems to be a more of a like animal reaction to the fear you cause it, and it just starts scrambling away.
Yeah, as Truak hits it, you see his jaw comes all the way unhinged, and his tongue just comes up, makes a hissing noise.
Yeah, and it's probably not sickening to Truak, but when the thing's probably about 10 feet away, you just hear that sickening as the arm breaks loose and falls onto the earth. So this thing is just gripping at this stump of its arm and making these ungodly noises, which I will save you guys from. And now it is their turn. So as you do that, you have very little time to celebrate, Truak, as you see this large shadow just swing down out of the trees to strike at you, and rolls a nat 1. So what happens as this thing drops down to surprise you with an attack?
It comes swinging down, and Truak kind of sees it, and as it's coming down, he just headbutts it right in the groin, and it just falls flat on its back and
Right, yeah. And it loses its next attack as a result as it falls prone. And you see it struggling to get back up to its feet, and it's just, it's going as it's moving back.
Truak does not like beasts.
Perfect. And Nissa, back by the hammock, you hear another crash and a thud in the ground, and another of these things has dropped from the trees, and it comes at you. Let me see. That's going to miss. That's a 13. Yeah. So again, you're able to quickly kind of weave and dodge as it's kind of leaping at you. And then another swings down from the tree, and you see this one's trying to grab you with its feet. That I believe will hit you. That's going to be a 13. Yeah, that's a 16, which I believe.
Yeah, that does.
Yeah, so that one hits you, and so you feel this slam as you're kind of ducking away from this other one. You feel this slam into your back, and you feel this pinch on your shoulder as you take 7 bludgeoning damage as it crushes into your shoulder, and you can feel the bones in your shoulder starting to separate from the joint. And I'm going to need you to make an opposed grapple check.
Okay, and as he does that, there is an immediate outburst of fire.
Nice.
My opposed grapple is going to be 18, which I don't think is going to be enough.
Yeah, but you caused damage with the fire, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I can find my page. Yes, this should be good. Oh, no. 6 fire damage.
Yeah. So it howls in pain, and not like a wolf would howl, but more like almost man-like as it howls in pain. And you feel it kind of pinch harder into your shoulder, and you feel it yanking and pulling you upward. And in moments, you feel the ground leave your feet, and you find yourself being spirited quickly up into the trees.
Shit.
And so, Turak, you would see that as you turned when she kind of grunts, and you see her just kind of yanked up into the trees. Brendan, there's a thud onto the branch that you're on, and one of these large forms has dropped in front of you. You may act first.
Okay, do I get a sneak attack on this or not?
No, it definitely knows you're there. It drops down, and you get the sense that it knows you're there, and that you're what it's coming after.
And it's on the same branch that I am. Is this branch pretty thick, or is it something I could break?
Oh no, it's the branch you're sleeping on, so it's pretty. It's
Okay.
It's pretty rugged. Or
Okay, I'm gonna just whip out my rapier and attack. Let's see here. I don't know how oh, hold on. All right, for some reason it's saying that I'm rolling 70, adding 76 to the roll, but I'm not.
Oh yeah. Just ignore that. Just go with what your roll is, and then
I'm gonna
just mentally add.
Yeah, I'll just roll offline. That's easier.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a nat 20.
Perfect.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't. It was actually, yes, I did. That was a nat 20. So I get my damage is 1d8 plus 3 piercing. So that would be 11 plus, you said roll another 8.
Yeah. So you do 8 plus what you roll plus the 6.
Okay. I rolled a 4, so that's 12 plus 6. It's 18 points.
Yeah.
And
so
can I make a leap onto the ground using like acrobatics or something after I
sure.
attack? Okay.
Yeah, sure. As your movement. So are you going to now? Wait, you have the ability that allows you to disengage as a
Yes.
bonus action.
Yes, cutting action.
Cutting action. Yeah. So you almost mortally strike this this. I'm just going to call it what it is. This ape that's in front of you. It kind of draws back as you drive your rapier deep into it, and it gives you that opening that you need. And yeah, give me that acrobatics check as you drop away from it.
20 on the acrobatics check.
Yep. Yeah. So you just kind of land and kind of roll back up onto your feet. So you're standing probably about 15 feet away from where Nissa was yanked up into the trees. So you can kind of hear her. I don't know if she's trying to scream or anything, but you would definitely see some leaves and stuff and water dropping down as this ape is pulling her further up into the trees. And probably about 40 feet away from you is Turek, where he's mortally struck one of these apes as well. And as you land on your feet, you let me make my rolls. A nat 20, so that's probably going to hit you, and that one's going to miss. So as you kind of roll back up on your feet, and you see this, Brendan, all of a sudden something strikes you at the back of your head, and it sends you teetering forward as okay, so not that much. You take 13 points of bludgeoning damage, and you feel blood running down your neck as this large kind of stone strikes you upside the head. And you can look, as you kind of shake your head and look back, you see one of these apes hanging from the tree, and you see it has thrown something at you, and it pulls itself back up into the tree and starts skittering across. You get a sense that it's trying to get to you. And so that'll bring us back to the top of the order. Nissa, you're being dragged along up through these trees. You can see the ground getting further and further from you. What are you going to try to do?
Well, first Nissa yells, "Get your paws off me, you damn dirty ape!" And
Yes.
then she's
Yes.
going to try and break the grapple.
Well, why don't you take inspiration too? Because you got the Planet of the Apes reference in there. That's awesome.
I'm gonna use inspiration and see if I can't. No, that's terrible. 9.
9. Okay. So a 9 to hit?
To break my grapple.
Oh,
I'm trying
break
to
the
get out.
grapple. Okay. All right. Let me oppose that. That may not be too bad. Yeah, it's not enough. As you start to pull yourself free, you feel its feet just kind of pull more tightly into you, and it kind of shakes you a little bit. It doesn't cause you any harm, but then you just feel it as it's just kind of grabbing branches and pulling you further and further up, and you're just seeing that ground just fade away from you as you're disappearing up into this canopy.
Don't like heights, don't like heights, don't like heights.
Right. Yeah, and another thing is as you're trying to say this stuff, branches are whipping into your face, and it's not being gentle with you at all. And if you'd like, Nissa, you can make a nature check if you'd like, or probably history
Uh,
as a free.
yeah, 12.
12. Yeah, so that's good enough for you to know that you've heard of the apes that reside here in the Trollbark. Well, for the most part, they're rather docile. Probably the most concerning thing that you remember hearing as you talked to some locals before you entered the wood is it's been mentioned that these apes have a certain love of human flesh.
That's swell.
Yeah.
Can I tell them that I'm a half elf?
Well, maybe they'll just eat that half of you then. The human half. All right. So yeah, you're pulled up further up into these trees, and Turak, it's your turn. You see your half elf companion just being pulled away. She's probably the better part of 80 feet up into the trees now.
Okay, Turak kind of just looks up, and you see he's like analyzing very quickly the situation. It's like, monkey, Nissa is not prey, and looks back down, and he's gonna just, man. So they're like 80 feet up in the canopy.
Yeah. You would just see glimpses of shadowy movement, just because the starlight and moonlight is fairly limited. There's cloud cover because it's the rain, and lizard men have dark vision, right?
I don't think they do actually. I was checking. Oh,
really?
Before I didn't see it. Yeah.
That's surprising.
So, I feel like I thought they would, but it wasn't there. So.
All right. So what is it? Truac will do. You hear other movement in the trees, so you know there's other threats nearby.
Okay, so there's the one on the ground in front of me. Is he just done, or what's he doing?
Yeah. No, that one is definitely skittering away.
Okay.
Yeah, you get a sense that it's probably going to bleed out because it probably doesn't have the skill to stop the bleeding.
No, I mean the one I headbutted.
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, that one's on the ground.
Okay.
It's just getting up.
Okay. Are there any others like around me, or is it just him?
Nope, just that one. And he is considered prone because he's not fully up yet.
Awesome. Then I'm gonna stab him while he's down.
So you will do so at advantage.
Awesome. Okay. Well, it's not gonna matter. I got a 10.
Oh, really? Yeah. So it kind of just swats your sword aside, and you kind of stab it into the earth near it, and you see it kind of rise up to its full form, and you see it getting ready to just ape hug you.
Okay.
And that's exactly what he's going to do, as it is their turn.
All right.
And a 19 will hit you, I'm assuming.
Yep.
So it wraps its big arm around you, and for 6 bludgeoning damage. And I need you to make an opposed roll as you feel this one trying to grapple onto you with a nat 20.
Yeah, I got like a 15, so.
Yeah. So it wraps around you, and you feel its other arm immediately wrap around you. And what's funny is, as it grabs you, it kind of lifts its body up on you, and you feel its feet grab onto you. And once it does that, it just reaches up and grabs a branch, and you feel it start grabbing branches and starts pulling you up as well, up into the canopy. So Brendan, you would see that. You would see Turek now get yanked up into these trees. So you have a sword in your hands. I'm going to give you advantage on your dex save to make sure that you hold your sword as this thing yanks you up into the trees, Turek.
All right, let me do that.
No, Turek, not you, Brendan.
13?
Yeah, so it starts to slip, but you're able to like still get your grip on, but it's kind of pulled in tight to you.
Okay. Sorry, I can just bite it anyways.
Right on. That's right. Perfect. And so you're grappled. Cool. And Brendan, you drop down to the ground, you get struck upside the head, and you see that the ape that threw that at you, it's swinging down to attack you. You may act first.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna played a rogue for a while. All right, I'm going to I'm gonna attack with my rapier since I'm holding it. And am I near the? Can I? I'll try and use my cunning action afterwards to sort of withdraw a little bit, so it's not right there.
Yeah, you could definitely get it as it swings in. I could assume it's like a ready type action as it swings into you.
Right.
You can drive your rapier into it.
All right. Let's roll for that. Okay, 19.
Oh yeah, that'll definitely hit. You don't get a sense that these things try to get out of the way. They're fairly, and they don't appear to have any sort of armor.
Okay, and I'll do 7 points of damage with that.
All right, good. Yeah, so you stick it into its like shoulder. It kind of pulls back, but you see it swing its meaty hand at your head to try to club you. That was 6, right? Okay. Cool. And you said you're going to move back. Is that what you would?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you move back, but it just kind of, it kind of like at its shoulder, but then it kind of at you, and you're actually surprised that something so big can move so quickly. And it takes 2 swings at you.
All right.
So that is a 15.
That does hit, yes.
Okay. And the other one is not going to hit you. So it strikes you for 9 bludgeoning damage as it just clubs you down, angry, and it's just like, and it does this, beats its chest as it smacks you down. So we're gonna forgo the grapple that it would normally get from hitting you because it's just going to celebrate smacking you hard. So how do you look to it? Are you bloodied in appearance, kind of shaken by the 2 blows you've taken?
Yeah, I'm down 21 points. I've only got 6 left, so I probably look pretty bad.
Right. So this thing is just kind of beating its chest at you, and the last thing you want to hear, Brendan, is the sound of a thud as another one lands near you, and it reaches out at you to grab you.
All right.
15.
Yep.
And a nat 1. So let's resolve the 15 first. So that'll hit you.
All
correct?
Right. Yep.
Okay. So that's going to be 8 bludgeoning damage as it just comes slamming into you with its it's like, and it just slams down at you.
Yeah, that puts me down.
All right. It puts you down. And thankfully, as it smacks you down, it tries to grab you. But what happens is the ape that had struck you before and was beating its chest, when this other one tries to grab you, it reaches over and smacks at him, angry that it would take its prey, and it smacks him.
All right.
So yeah, you're knocked unconscious as these two apes appear to be fighting over you. And this brings us back to Nissa. You are 80 feet off the ground. You feel that this thing is just dragging you further and further up into this tree canopy. You've now pretty much lost sight of your companions. What is it you'll do?
Nissa is going to try and firebolt it.
Cool.
And see if she can frighten it any with the flame.
Right. So the first thing I'd like you to do is just give me a concentration roll, even though I know you're not concentrating on something, just because of the natural effects of being dragged up through this canopy. Unceremoniously, this thing is not cradling you or trying to carry you up gingerly. So you're banging into trees and branches, and leaves are slapping across you. So just give me a DC 10 concentration roll.
8.
Really?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're just about to get the spell. You could feel the arcane energy building up, and just as you're about to release it, this branch slaps you across the face, and you feel the sting of it. But it's enough that it breaks your concentration, and you feel the magic releases. You still have, I guess, an interaction where you have would normally be your move.
Yeah, no, she's just gonna try and like squirm and make it as difficult as possible for this thing to keep hauling her.
Right. So how would you do it? Just tell me how you would do it.
It's a little bit like one of those flip kicks. She's kicking her feet up towards the arm or the foot or whatever's holding her, and grabbing at it with her hands and pulling hairs, and
right.
They think they've got hold of a wildcat. It's not pretty.
Right. So not only that, every once in a while your foot and leg will catch a branch, and you'll do like little kids will do, and they're like they become suction cup. And every once in a while you catch your foot around a branch, and you'll kind of lock your legs, and it'll have to like tug you free, so it slows it down. So yeah, I'm gonna give it half movement, so it only drags you up another 25 feet this round,
which puts me at, I think, 105.
Yeah, just over 100. And Turak, you find yourself in that same situation. You're about 20, 30 feet off of the ground. You're being dragged up into this canopy. What is it you're going to do?
So I'm going to use my bonus action bite attack, the ability where I drain. So I'm just going to look at it, and I am not prey, and try to sink my jaws into it as I'm right next to it. Firstly, that is going to be a math 16 to hit.
Yep, 16 will hit it.
All right, so he gets a bit, and I heal. He's going to take 4 damage as I bite it, and I gain back 3.
Perfect. Yeah, you bite it, and it kind of, you feel it shake you. You know that it's not happy that you just bit into its leg.
And then can I also, since I bit it, made an attack, can I use a Battle Master feature to try and frighten it as I bite it? So a Battle Master, or is that just main attacks?
I guess. Tell me how you would do it. My initial reaction would be to say no, but I want you to be able to sell it to me.
Yeah.
So how would Turak do it?
He digs his jaws into its peck and just rips the flesh out and looks up at it with the flesh in his mouth and just swallows it whole. And just stares at it while he swallows it.
So that would be a DC 12, right?
Yeah, DC 12 wisdom saving throw. And then I get to do an extra damage to it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. You frighten it.
Okay, it's also going to take 8 more damage from that.
I think I know why it was frightened. So yeah, you do it. What looked like not a grazing of an injury actually was much worse. And it's that, so that its instincts kick in. So it just like, it's hanging from a branch and its peck is bleeding and it just throws you out with its legs that it's holding you with. And you immediately find yourself doing one of those pinwheel things, and you need to make a dex save as you come careening to the ground.
Okay. Let's see. Let's use this dice. This dice is cheating. Oh man, no, that's a 5.
Yeah. So it's a 5. So typically so you're waiting to hit that ground. You're reaching at branches. I imagine you're trying to hold your sword as you're doing that.
Of course.
So you got it in one of your hands, and the one branch you would have grabbed is the one that you're holding your sword in, and it clumps into it, and it slows you down for only a split second before you kind of twist, and you can see the ground coming at you, and that's at the same time that you feel these strong hands just slam into you and swing you back up, just catching you probably about 10 feet from the ground.
Oh man.
And you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And let's see if it's actually able to hold on to you, or if you're just your momentum. So you have momentum, so I'm going to give you advantage on your pose.
Okay.
So.
Oh wow, yeah, 21.
21, yeah. So you just beat it. So it's holding on to you, but the weight of you falling is just too much for it, and you slip out of its feet. And you slam into the ground, which is probably not to your benefit. But actually, I'm going to decrease the damage die because it did slow down some of your momentum as you careen to the ground.
Okay.
So you're going to take another 3 bludgeoning as you slam into the earth. You kind of like bounce a little bit, and it kind of knocks the wind from you for a second. Now it is. So I need a death save. From you, Brendan.
Alrighty, let me do that real quick.
So you have to just said unmodified D20. So you want to hit it? You want to hit a 10?
Yeah, this is a failure. Rolled a 5.
Okay, cool. Well, not cool, but so what you would see, Turek, as you kind of like you're getting up, catching your breath, and you're shaking off like maybe a few pricks of light, is you see these 2 large apes, and they're just fighting over your falling comrade. You can't, from this distance, you can't tell if he's breathing or not. You see that he's bleeding from his head, and you're probably thinking the worst. And I'm just going to quickly just resolve these 2 apes slamming at each other. Yeah. So they trade a blow, and one of them just retreats after the other one just boxes it. And it retreats, and you see it climbing quickly back up into the bushes. Up into the trees. And what you would see, Turak, is you would see the winner, the victor, reach down and scoop up your friend and just kind of tuck him under its arm, and it just starts pulling itself up towards a tree. So it's probably about 25 feet from you as you see that. And we are back to the top of the order.
All right. Nissa is going to try and Eldritch Blast it now and see if she can get it to maybe let go, although the thought of falling 100 and whatever feet is not pleasant because she's kind of afraid of heights.
Right. So yeah, first just give me that DC 10 con roll.
No, I'm gonna go get my real dice because that one was a 6.
Yeah, get your real dice. Are you using bones?
Yes, Bones hates me right now.
Don't use bones.
There we go. Hey, that's so much nicer. Yes, 17.
Yeah, so you complete your spell, and I'm going to give you advantage on your attack because the thing is literally right above you.
Okay. That one's going to be 16 to hit for the first one. The other one's going to be lower. Will a 16 hit?
Oh, yes.
Excellent. And that's 11 damage.
11, nice. Yeah, because you're so close to it, you're able to really drive your magic into it. It howls in pain, and let me see if it'll hold on to you. Yeah, and immediately you feel the pleasant release, Nissa, as its feet let go of you, and you find yourself free falling. Give me a dex, you could do the dex save. Are you trained in acrobatics?
It's an 18.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So you fall, as you start falling, you're able to catch a branch and you stop yourself, but not without slamming your ribs, and you take 2 bludgeoning. But you look down, your feet are dangling, you're kind of holding onto this branch, and you see that it's probably 90 feet to the ground below.
Nissa is breathing very heavily. Okay. Oh, heights. Oh, don't like heights. And trying to figure out what to do next.
Give me a perception roll, Nissa, as you're kind of holding it. You look down, and you're looking down, and you're probably looking up to see where that ape is.
19.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, you see near everything. So you see the ape. It's kind of like it's kind of rubbing at where your magic hit it, and it's kind of looking for where that glowing purple bolt was that's not there anymore. And it's kind of pulling at its fur. And as you look down, you can kind of see Turak kind of lifting himself up down below, and you see another ape, probably about at a diagonal, probably about 50 or 60 feet away, and you see the limp form of Brendam hanging from its arm. So you have a move action too, Nissa. So you're kind of hanging precariously from this branch. So you could use your move action to climb up onto it or try to climb down.
Yeah, if I could start climbing downwards and away from the giant apes.
Yeah. So just give me a like an athletics, a DC 10, as you kind of cautiously kind of slide down the slip tree.
That's a natural one.
Oh God. Yeah. So you start to slide down, and as you do, your foot slides off the branch and you fall. You kind of strike your hip, and you kind of grab, and you kind of, much like Turek doing, you're finding yourself doing one of these pinwheel things. Give me a D4 roll.
A D4? Okay.
Yeah.
3.
So you plummet 30 feet without finding anything to find purchase on as you're falling. So you're plummeting down. So you're about 60 feet from the ground now. Yeah, you need to stop your momentum, or it's gonna. Yeah, it'll be the falling's not so bad, it's the stop at the end.
It's the landing that gets you.
Yeah, that's good. That's gonna get you. So yeah, you're kind of like pinwheeling out of control, and I don't know if you're screaming or anything, but Turek might hear and see that as
absolutely top of my lungs screaming.
Yes, perfect. Good thing is you're well out of range of the ape. Looking at the bright side.
Super.
And the thing is, you've killed or damaged or frightened away so many, so you don't have to worry about one swinging in and grabbing you. So yeah, so we leave Nissa falling from the tree, and Turek, you see her falling, and what do you do?
So the other one that grabbed our friend Brendam, is he up in the trees, or is he just starting to climb?
He's getting there. Like you know, if you don't act now, he's going to quickly get himself up into that tree.
He's not getting there. I'm gonna swing. I'm an action surge and swing twice.
Perfect.
So first one is a 12.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Oh, nice. And then the second one, just do both. Got caught. Hang on. That one is a 13.
Yeah, that'll hit too.
All right, so 2 swings with a giant sword. 9. And I reroll the 1. 9 and 9, 18 plus 4, 22.
Oops. Yeah, tell us how Turek brings this ape down.
All right. So Turek, he sees the ape starting to bring his friend, and he goes, "That is not the prey." And he charges in, and with both hands up on the sword, he just kind of jabs it into the monkey and brings it down from the ground. And then while it's trying to like squirm away, he just keeps jabbing into it and stabbing it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you just butchered this ape. It drops your companion, and Brendan, give me another death save as you drop to the ground.
Oh, as my bonus action, I'm a second wind. Just so you know. Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
This was a success. I rolled an 11.
Excellent. So you're 1 and 1. Nissa, can you give me another dex save, please?
Oh, nope. That's a 5.
Okay. Yeah. So give me another D4 roll. So you're falling. You almost get this branch and you miss it.
1.
1. So yeah, you plummet another 10 feet without finding purchase. So you're 50 foot from the ground. The only good thing is you are slowing down a little bit as you're kind of reaching out at these handholds. And it's your turn again.
Yeah, no, the only thing I can do is try and grab on.
Yeah.
19.
19, yes. So just when things are hopeless, you fall another 10 feet and you kind of fall across this very what would it be, forested? I don't know what, but it has a lot of leaves on it. You hit it and you're able to just frantically grab on, wrapping arms and legs around this thing, and you stop your plummet. And you take 2 more bludgeoning damage as the branches kind of knock the wind from you. And but you appear safe just about 50 feet from the ground. What will you do?
Absolutely nothing. She is clinging to this branch for dear life and just looking around to see where her companions are.
Right. So you see Turek down below as you kind of peer down over the branches, and you see that he's at his feet is Brendan, and he doesn't appear to be moving. You hear movement up above you, and you see the ape, now having recovered, is swinging back down through the trees to get to you.
Oh, damn. All right. Well, I'll just wait for him to get closer, I guess.
Well, what's the range on your Eldritch Blast?
It's 120. I guess he would be within that.
Oh yeah, he's definitely within range of you.
Okay, then I'll see if I can't. Natural 20.
Yeah, just tell us what you do to this poor ape, poor innocent ape.
Nissa sees him like swinging down towards her and goes, "Oh no, you don't!" and just puts one hand out, and she's aiming straight for his head. And so that's going to be fabulous. I rolled a 10, and it's already a 10, so 20, and then I took one of those things, so it's 26 damage.
It doesn't have a head. You're so angry, you're so afraid. You put so much of your Eldritch magic into this. It blows his head clear off, and just a headless body just starts plummeting through the trees. It's crashing and snapping branches, and you hear it coming down. You hear it coming down, Turek, as well, and at the end of this round, it slams into the ground with a sickening thud of breaking bone. Yeah, it's dead. So giving you at least what you would appear, Nissa, a moment's reprieve as you rest in your nice little perch 50 feet above the ground. And Turek, you are up now.
Turek kind of looks at the body that falls and goes, meat. And then looks at his companion and kind of gives him a very analytical once over to see if he can help him out a little bit. And I'm going to try and keep him from not dying.
All right, cool. So you're going to do a medicine check?
Yeah. Let's see what I can do here. Oh, wow. 12.
Yep. Yeah, it's not the best, but you do know, yeah, definitely real buddy, Mike. But it's enough that you're able to kind of press you rip off some of Brendan's own clothing, and you kind of use it to press up against his wound. And you see that his breath, which was rather ragged before, kind of seems to stabilize a bit. Bill, give me a D4 roll.
Okay, let me hold on a second. That's 4.
Yeah, so you will be unconscious for 4 hours unless you receive some sort of healing magics that will revive you sooner.
Okay.
So you don't have to make a death save now. So Nissa, you hear other of these apes moving through the trees, and you see them moving towards your companions. And it'll be back up to your turn.
All right. Nissa, still clinging tightly to the branch, is going to aim her hand towards one of these coming back down towards the companions and try and shoot it again.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes, 24 to hit.
Yeah, you easily hit it.
And 9 damage.
Yeah, you kill another one, and it drops, bouncing off some of the limbs of the tree before it crashes into the ground. But you see two others moving towards Turek and Brendan.
All right, she's just gonna yell down and, "Watch out! There's more!"
Okay, perfect. So one of these, Brendan throws it. It lands on the ground, probably about 20 feet away from you, and it just hucks dirt and stone at you for a nat 20. So let me roll that damage first. Oh, did I say Brendan? I'm sorry, I meant Turek. I misspoke. Yeah, that would. Which is good because we wouldn't want you to be making death saves again. So that's going to be 15 points of bludgeoning damage as this thing catches you square in the chest. You feel your chest cavity just collapse under the strength of the blow, and it just knocks the air from you. Are you still up?
Yeah, I'm still up.
Okay, good.
I got some hit points left.
Yeah, so it whips another patch of this rock and dirt at you. And that's going to be 17.
On the money.
On the money, so it hits you with that. And this is just a regular hit. And that's for another 5 bludgeoning damage. And it just starts beating its chest, so it's about 30 feet away from you as it's doing this. And the other one drops down and grabs your immobile friend and tries to pull him up into the tree. I will give you a reaction on him.
My reaction is to smack him.
Yes, very good. I am pleased with that reaction.
Oh man, well,
as is Brendan, I'm sure.
That is that's not great. It's a 10. Yeah.
A 10, yeah. So you swing, and just what would probably have cleaved it in twain, it swings up. It springs itself up with a strength and grace, and you strike into the trunk of a tree instead. And you see your friend pulled up into the trees again.
Oh man! All right.
So, Brendan, you're unconscious. no one has any sort of way to bring you. So what's kind of happening is Brendan is he's kind of in this unconscious state. Bill, what's happening for Brendan as he's unaware of what's happening to him in the physical world?
I don't know, he's dreaming about skipping along through the flowers.
That's awesome. I love it. Assassin, and when he dreams of beautiful flower gardens, barefoot, spring
rabbits, and flowers.
Flowers in his hair.
Yep. Square dancing, that kind of thing.
Yeah, right. Perfect. Is that the life he wishes he would have lived, maybe?
Yeah, but he'll never get to. He knows that.
Yeah. All right. So that brings us back to the top of the order. Nissa, you see what was described happening below you, and you see this ape grab your friend, Brendan, and it pulls him up into the trees. And probably just as you're getting ready to cast another one of these Eldritch blasts, it kind of ducks in behind one of these trees. So it's kind of swinging in and out of these trees. So you think you might be able to hit it, but you feel that it's also getting afforded some cover from the trees and the foliage.
How far am I?
I would probably say between 60, 70 feet. You're about 50 feet up. So kind of maybe at an angle, it would be about probably 60 or 70 feet.
Okay. She's just going to try and shoot at it again. That's really the only thing she's got.
Perfect.
Is that disadvantage or?
No, it's armor class. It's armor class. Yeah, it'll hit it. So even though it's afforded some cover, you're able to kind of wait. You kind of see maybe a pattern in the way it's swinging up through these trees, and you wait patiently and you fire, hitting it with your Eldritch Blast. Roll your damage.
10.
Oh shoot! So you happily slay this ape, but as it starts to fall, so does your companion. Bill, why don't you give me a dex save, and if you make your save, your conscious body is actually gonna fall on top of this plummeting ape, which will cushion the blow.
All right. 19.
19. That's perfect.
All right.
So you would so the good thing is you didn't take a lot of damage. You're actually able to your drop is cushioned by the corpse of the ape that Nissa killed. But Turek, you would see him plummet down and fall upon his unconscious body, falling and rolling off of this dead ape, probably about 15 or 20 feet from you. And it is your turn.
So there's one more ape that threw the dirt at me, right? Standing right in front of me?
Yeah. He's the one that's beating his chest, and it's like challenging you.
Good. I hiss at it and I run and smack it, because that's what Turek does.
Perfect.
And that's a nat 20.
Yeah, just describe it to us, because it doesn't.
Okay, so Turek comes running up, and he's just hissing at it, and he jumps up and he jams his sword into its shoulder, and then as he does that, he kind of just bites into its face he unhinges his jaw and just bites into it. As it's kind of trying to push him off, he just keeps beasting into it until it stops squirming.
Yeah. That seems to be the way that you deal with everything you kill. You just make sure that it's not getting back up. Maybe it's because of the trolls you've been fighting. Maybe one of the first ones you've killed, it rose back up. And so now you want to make sure anything you kill in this damnable forest stays dead. And this ape definitely appears dead. It's a bloody, pulpy mess.
After he finishes biting out its jugular, making sure it's good and dead, he kind of looks up and looks around.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't see anything. All you see is your unconscious companion off, like I said, 50 and 20 feet away from you. If you want to give me a quick perception roll, we'll see if you see Nissa up in the trees 50 feet up.
Sure. 9.
Yeah, no, your focus is more on the more immediate threats. So you're not looking up there. You're looking around, but more like what can get to me, what can
Right.
hit me. So you do not see her.
Okay.
Nissa, it's your turn again.
Okay, and I don't see any more of these things.
You do not see any more, but if you'd like to be a little bit more thorough, what's your passive perception?
10.
Yeah, why don't you, if you're actively looking, why don't you give me a perception roll?
16.
Yeah, you're like, I think that's the last of them. And then you see one kind of just silently swinging. The rain is still dropping down through the canopy, and you see it swinging, but what you notice is Torek doesn't see it.
And it's swinging towards him?
Yeah. You think that it's either going towards Torek or it's going towards Brendan.
I'm gonna shoot at it again.
Yeah.
Eldritch Blast. Oh no, I don't hit that. No. But she will yell, Torek, there's another one. One more.
Right. So Turek definitely hears that easily as you yell to him. And Turek, it's your turn. You hear Nissa's voice, disembodied voice, because you don't know where she is. But she warns you.
Okay. Turak is going to draw his sword and kind of move towards Brendan, trying to move over his body. And then he readies his action. As soon as this thing swings in, he's going to try and hit it. He's like kind of looking up, looking around. And as soon as he hears it or gets a sense of where it's coming from, he's going to try and lay into it.
Right. So you don't have to wait long as you hear that of it hitting the ground. And you see it. It uses a tactic very similar to the other one. It just scoops up this rocks and dirt debris and it throws it at you. Yeah, that's going to hit you. And that one will miss. So it hits you for 5 bludgeoning damage as you duck away from most of it, but some of it just kind of strikes into your head. And then it kind of backs away with the remainder of its movement. So it's about 45 feet away from you, but it's on the ground and it's kind of like doing one of these things. You ever seen like a documentary where an ape is kind of, so that's what it's kind of doing, kind of sizing you up. And Brendan is still unconscious. So that makes this fight really boring for you. And Nissa, you're up. You can see this kind of this fight. You see the lizard man that you have been making fun of these last few weeks, protecting your fallen comrade, and it is your turn.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm still clinging tightly to the tree branch with one arm. She puts the other one back up and shoots at it.
Perfect.
Ooh, yeah. 24 to hit.
Yes. Yeah, this one's out in the open. You just take your time, steady yourself, and hit it.
And 12 damage.
Yeah, you just destroy it. You hit it, and it just kind of drops dead. And then you guys, it's just silence. Just the sound of the falling rain through the trees. And we are out of initiative.
My Turek has been hit. Turek is alive. Friend is hurt. And he kind of looks down at Brendan and puts his finger on his neck. Is he doing a pulse or?
Yeah, you feel a pulse. You see his chest is just rising very gently. But he does not look good. Yeah, he's smiling. Yeah. His face is just a bloody mess, but he's got this unnatural smile on his face. That's awesome.
Turek
inspiration, man. That is awesome.
Turek has like just a head cock. That is odd, and just kind of picks him up and moves him, kind of puts him like in a way he could breathe a little easier, just kind of general survival type positioning. And then he kind of walks under Nissa. If you fall, I will try to catch you.
Yeah.
I okay. If you drop me, I'm going to smash your eggs.
I don't have eggs. I do not make eggs.
That's what you think.
I get a sense that Nissa's picking on him, but anyways, just make two. If you're trained in acrobatics, you can use acrobatics. If not, just give me 2 dex checks to go down, and the DC is going to be just 10 because nothing's attacking you, and I assume you're taking.
Oh,
your
good.
time.
I'm glad it's a low DC. The first one was 11.
Perfect. So you kind of slip a little bit, but you're like, not this time, not again, and
the second one is 9.
9. So she's about 20 feet from the ground when you see her slip and she starts to fall. Give me an athletics or an acrobatics, whichever one you would like to catch her.
15 athletics.
Yes, perfect. That's just what you need. So as she comes down, you're like, maybe you're still holding your sword, and then you're like, oh wait, and you kind of set it, drop it down. So you catch her, and so she's just kind of, it's like that awkward moment where you kind of catch her on your arms like this, and she's kind of looking at you, and you're kind of looking at her.
I just look at her, and my eyes kind of blink, and I say, "I'm glad you're not dead," and I put you down.
Yes. Perfect. So what is it you guys are going to do? You've survived this attack from these carnivorous apes.
Turek is going to start eating them.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
He'll scavenge the bones to try and make some javelins or whatever, and he'll just do what he can, make what he can out of them.
Yeah, you just unceremoniously start dragging in like this one area, all of these corpses, and you just start dismantling them, taking them apart, separating the meat out from the bones. I imagine at some point you're even asking Nissa, do you want some?
I just hold out a hunk of bloody flesh.
No, Turek, it's all you.
You want it cooked. You want it cooked. Yes, you do not eat the raw. I remember this.
Yes, but no.
And then he kind of shrugs and he takes a bite out of it with the fur still on it. There's just kind of like a puff of fur on his jaw.
Yeah. Nissa, is there anything that you would do over the next few hours until Brendam awakes?
She would mostly just try and prop Brendam up and see if she can maybe keep him out of the rain a little bit, and
you
just take a short rest.
Yeah, maybe you take this. Yeah, you definitely are taking a short rest. Maybe you make this like little. Maybe you have a bit of canvas and you make this sort of crude lean-to that the two of you sit under while Turek's doing his stuff, and you clean up his wound a little bit with some of the rainwater. So he definitely looks a bit better. And a few hours later, Brendam, you start to stir it, and you have this killer headache. And as your eyes flutter open, describe for us what you see. What you do. It's probably close to midnight. You would guess.
Where did the kitties go?
Oh, that hit you harder than I thought.
I'm back. Nissa, what happened?
You don't remember the giant apes?
There were no felines. They were primates.
I remember fighting them. I remember fighting them, and then I just had the best dream. I want to go back.
Yes, he threw dirt at you and you fell asleep.
Ah. Well, I'm sorry about that.
You missed all the fun.
Yeah, sounds like it.
'Twas not fun. We almost died.
I bet it was a little bit of fun. I had more fun, though.
I'm sure you did. Well, we're glad to see you back in the land of the living.
Well, thanks for not leaving me out in the middle of the woods.
So how is it you guys will proceed through the rest of the evening? everyone has effectively had a short rest. I use slow healing rules, so you can use a hit die, you can regain up to 1 hit die worth of health from your short rest.
Well, Turk would suggest we sleep a little longer because we are all pretty jacked up. More than just a short rest.
Right. Perfect. So you guys continue the watch. Nissa having completed hers, and then you guys would complete the watch. It's early morning when I can't remember which one of you had the last watch, whether it was Brendan or Turak.
It was Brendan. I had mid-watch.
Okay, Brendan. So you wake the others as the first rays of sun start to come through the trees, and what is it you guys do? It's the rain has stopped sometime in the night. It's now long rest. It is humid and wet. Your injuries from the night's battle still ache, though you can feel that they've begun to heal. You're thankful that most of them appear to be more superficial, like bruising of bone, of muscle and whatnot, rather than deep, long-standing injuries. But it was definitely a humbling experience for you all, though, having been so successful with trolls. What is it you guys do?
Once Turk wakes up, he kind of looks around. We should continue to track them. Yes, try to find the trolls.
Might as well. Was that some just kind of random pack that we ran across, though? The apes?
I guess so. They must have thought we were prey. They were trying to carry us away to eat later.
Well, we showed them, didn't we?
Not really.
Yes, you were so helpful.
I tried. Hey, I almost put one of them down before I was out.
And I think I dropped 4, so, you know.
Yeah. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I let you handle it.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Not a problem.
Turek was useful, though. Weren't you, Turek?
I played a part in the fighting, yes.
And you caught me. Good boy.
Good. I am not a boy. I'm a full-grown man.
In the middle of this conversation, everyone make a perception roll.
Nine.
22.
15.
So Turek, you're the first one, and maybe it's because of your nature. You feel as though you're being watched by something or some things. Nissa's in the middle of talking to you. What does Turek do as he gets this very primal sensation?
Yeah, you see, he was kind of in a relaxed state, still probably cleaning off some bones, kind of sharpening them now into like javelins. And you see, immediately just kind of stops and stiffens up. And he looks up immediately into the trees. Something is hunting us. We are prey again. And he's just watching the tree line because that's the last place he remembers being hit from. So I do not think we should stay still.
I just want to give the others an opportunity to either role play or react to your what Turek has described.
No, Turek, I think that's a great idea. Let's move. I'd rather not be carried off into the trees again. 100 feet was a long ways.
I feel like I missed out.
No, you were carried into the trees too. I just stopped them.
Yeah, see, Brendan, you didn't miss it.
Oh, well, thank you.
So Turek will gather some of the bones and then leave.
Yeah, you rise up, and you just can't shake that feeling, Turek. You start grabbing the bones and maybe piling them together into a sack that you carry. You always carry your trophies in. And you all hear this kind of broken comment. Why do you kill my children?
Oh God. We all hear that?
Yeah. It just kind of rolls into the small clearing that you guys made your camp in.
Your children tried to kill us. We are not prey.
You are in our forest. We hunt here, just like you.
Then we were hunting each other. This is what happens when two packs meet. Yes.
You hear this kind of as a branch and leaves rustle, and as you look up, Tarek, you see this ape that is just enormous. It's probably about almost 10 feet tall if it were to stand upright, and its fur is not that dark black of the ones that had attacked you. It's more of a smoke gray. And you just see it looking down at you, and it doesn't look like it's menacing in any way.
Truck would kind of just look up at it. We simply want to hunt trolls, not your children.
What he said, two packs meeting and yet no, these things happen. No ill will.
It tilts its head as you're talking to it, Nissa, and you get a sense it's almost like it's weighing what you said. What would you do if I killed your children?
Now, see, that's just a little presumptuous. I mean, I know I'm a woman, and that's one of those things, but I actually don't have any children, and so it's really just not on my to-do list these days.
I don't have any children either, Turek. Do you have any children?
To analyze the situation further, I believe your children tried to kill us. It is more of a defense thing. How would you feel if my children tried to kill you? And then he tilts his head the same direction she did.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know which. I will let.
Turek is pretty persuasive, actually, for a lizard man.
Of the three of you, I think that Tarek probably presents the best argument. So I'm going to give you a chance to, let's see if you could persuade her. It's going to be at disadvantage, however, because your two companions did not do much to help support your.
Sorry.
It's okay. Let's see what I do. Oh, wow. 15. Roll a 12 and a 19.
It just grumble. It just has this throaty growl as it sits there, and you just see one of its large hands just like gripping, like white knuckling the tree, and you just see the tree like it's just tearing into the flesh of the tree, and the bark is just peeling away. Leave.
Leave? You said I cannot understand you very well.
Leave.
Track will immediately.
It just growls and it just starts beating its chest. And everyone needs to make a wisdom save. DC 12.
I made it.
Made it.
Yeah. What did you guys get? Just
21.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So it's you with what you survived the night before. This thing bellowing and beating its chest does not frighten you. What did you get?
17.
And how about you, Brendan? How did you fare?
Sorry, I had to find the unmute microphone button. I did an 18.
So yeah, you guys are not frightened by her kind of posturing, but do you guys prepare to leave?
Yeah, Turek, he kind of has an idea of like hunting areas, so he kind of just tries to leave the immediate hunting area, and he just kind of nods very respectfully, turns the opposite direction, and starts walking away.
Yeah.
Nissa is following Tarek, but she's not turning her back on this thing, so she's like kind of fumbling around behind her and trying not to run into too many things, but keeping an eye on it because she's very untrusting.
Do not try to keep posturing it. It will try to attack. Just walk away.
But what it... Fine.
So you guys quickly gather the rest of your belongings, pack them up, and Turak, who has been your guide through this forest, begins to lead you away. And for the next several hours, you know that she's following you. And then that sense that you have, Turak, Nissa, and Brendam fades. You've either left her territory or she has determined that you are truly going to leave and cause her no more harm. And that is where the adventure will end. You guys survived this.
All right.
And I'll just let you know, that was a deadly encounter. If you look at like a CR ratings and how they scale it, that was deadly. You guys did really well.
I thought for sure we were going to die.
That frightened battle master thing is super useful.
Well,
that was clutch.
Brendam, actually, let's end the broadcast. I just want to thank you all, great players. Unfortunately, we missing our fourth, so we didn't have the full effect of these apes as they attacked you, but you guys managed it fairly well. Everyone lived, and you survived to hunt trolls another day. So I'm just going to let's do some quick little outros. So if there's anything you want to plug or whatnot, I just want to say thanks to my players for this last minute. This was a very last minute one shot.
Yeah, thanks for running.
Yeah, I had a good time. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, great. I don't get a chance to run too many one shots. I usually tend to do more planned games, but I had a free night tonight, and I'm like, I'm going to do a one shot. So I do appreciate you guys wanting to play, and I'm probably going to do more of these. Like I had said, I have these books, so I'm just going to randomly determine and pick one of these, the little scenarios, and literally they are a little short scenario. It'll probably run about like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And with that, we're going to end the broadcast. I'm Lionel. I'm with the channel Two Guys T and D&D. Thanks for watching.